Hello, my name is Lewis and welcome to Gathering the Magic. Today we're looking at a $25 budget Mondrak Glory Dominus deck tech. From Phyrexia All Will Be One, this 4/4 says if one or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many are created instead. You can pay to sack 2 artifacts and or creatures to put an indestructible counter on Mondrak. This deck is all about those tokens. We're creating a big wide army, playing cards that support those tokens even more, making Mondrak indestructible and getting that big wide overwhelming win. Now, let's get straight into the budget brew. As always, we're starting off the deck tech super hot with all of that ramp. First up we have Commander Sphere to add white and Mindstone to add a colourless, both having that secondary sacking option to draw a card. We have Arcane Signet and Marble Diamond to both add white, with the diamond entering the field tapped. There's Wayfarer's Bauble to pay and sack to search your library for a basic land, putting it onto the field tapped. And Gold Mirror that can be tapped for a plains. We have Knight of the White Orchid and Loyal Warhound that both say when they're ETB, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a plains, putting them onto the field. Tapped for the Loyal Warhound though. And finally, we have Soul Ring. Because Soul Ring. Before we get onto those token loving creatures, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe down below for all things MTG. Subscribing is completely free to do and it helps our channel grow and grow as we head towards 5,000 subscribers. Another way to help support the channel is to use our referral code gathering-the-magic when signing up to Card Market. Shout out to Mr. Gasty for using our code. You love to see it. Now we're looking at all of our creatures that will be making even more tokens. First up is Crawling Chorus, that when dies create a 1/1 colourless Phyrexia Might artifact creature token with Toxic 1 and this creature can't block. And Doomed Traveller, that when dies create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. There's Hunted Witness that when dies, create a 1/1 soldier token with lifelink, and Phyrexian Triniform that when dies, create 3 3/3 colourless golem artifact tokens, also having Encore. We have Evangel of Heliod that when ETBs put a number of 1/1 soldier tokens onto the field equal to your devotion to white, and Reverent Hoplite that when ETBs create a number of 1/1 human soldier tokens equal to your devotion to white. Sure to have high devotion in mono white, those cards are extra effective with Mondrak as that doubling token feature could end up creating a dozen or more tokens. There's Captain of the Watch that when ETBs create 3 1/1 soldier tokens, also giving other creatures you control +1/+1 and vigilance. And Mage's Attendant that when ETBs create a 1/1 wizard token that can be sacrificed to counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. We have Might Overseer that you can pay to create a 1/1 Phyrexia Might with Toxic 1 and this creature can't block. As long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+0 and have first strike. And Prava of the Steel Legion that as long as it's your turn, creature tokens you control get +1/+4 and you can also pay to create a 1/1 soldier token. For the final 4 there's Defiler of Faith. This is whenever you cast a white spell, create a 1/1 soldier token, also allowing you to pay life to reduce the amount of white mana you pay. And Hanweir Militia Captain that transforms into Westvale Cult Leader that says at the beginning of your end step, create a 1/1 human cleric token on the field, with its power and toughness being equal to the number of creatures you control. We have Myojin of Blooming Dawn that ETBs with an indestructible counter if it was cast from your hand. If you remove an indestructible counter, create a 1/1 spirit token for each permanent you control. And Thraben Doomsayer that says you tap to create a 1/1 human token, as long as you have 5 or less life, other creatures you control get +2/+2. We've looked at the creature token creators, now let's look at every other way to go token crazy. First is Deploy to the Front to create X 1/1 soldier tokens, where X is the number of creatures on the field. And Martial Coup to create X 1/1 soldier tokens, if X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. We have Stormherd to create X 1/1 Pegasus tokens with flying, where X is your life total. And Visions of Glory to create a 1/1 human token for each creature you control with flashback. There's White Sun's Twilight to gain X life, create X 1/1 Phyrexia Might artifact creatures with Toxic 1 and cannot block. If X is 5 or more, destroy all other creatures. And White Sun's Zenith to create X 2/2 cat tokens. X token spells in this deck are huge, create an insane amount of tokens, which will only get doubled by Mondrak to make your army even scarier. Can you imagine 30 Pegasus being doubled? That is scary. We have Horn of Valhalla to create X 1/1 soldier tokens, and Increasing Devotion to create 5 1/1 human tokens. If the spell was cast from the graveyard, create 10 instead. A massive 20 if Mondrak is on the field. We have Triplicate Spirits to put 3 1/1 spirit tokens with flying on the field, being able to convoke to cast. And Shram's Expertise to create 3 1/1 servo artifact tokens. You can also cast a card with mana value 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. There's Inspiring Leader to give your commander creature tokens you control get +2/+2, and Intangible Virtue to give creature tokens you control +1/+1 and Vigilance. We've got McKinley Stampede to give creatures you control +2/+2 until end of turn, and Paladin class that can be leveled up to give creatures you control +1/+1, as well as huge attacking boosts for all of your creatures. There's Idol of Oblivion for some card draw and can be sacrificed to create a 10/10 Eldrazi token, and Oketra's Monument to make your white spells 1 cheaper. And whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 warrior token with Vigilance. We have Servo Schematic that when ETBs or is put into a graveyard from the field, create a 1/1 servo token, and Blessed Sanctuary to prevent all combat damage dealt to you and creatures you control. Whenever a non-token creature ETBs into your control, create a 2/2 Unicorn token. There's Popular White Enchantment Felidar Retreat. This is whenever a land ETBs, create a 2/2 Cat Beast token. And the Restoration of Iganjo, that when it flips, whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 1/1 Spirit token. For the last two we have Hour of Reckoning to destroy all non-token creatures, and Phyrexian Rebirth to destroy all creatures, creating a XX horror token where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. Before we finish up with those lands, we're looking at the best of the rest in this budget brew. First up is Daxos Blessed by the Sun, whose toughness is equal to your devotion to white. Whenever another creature ETBs or dies, gain 1 life. And Gold Knight Commander, this is whenever another creature ETBs under your control, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. We have Mentor of the Meek, this is whenever another creature with power 2 or less ETBs under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. And your Temple is under attack to give your creatures indestructible until end of turn, or you and target opponent each draw 2 cards. There's Unbreakable Formation to give your creatures indestructible until end of turn, giving those creatures Vigilance and a +1/+1 counter if it was cast during a main phase. And Old Faithful Swiftfoot Boots to give equipped creature Hexproof and Haste. For removal we have Kabira Takedown to deal damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, and Return to Dust to exile target artifact or enchantment. If it was cast during a main phase, you can exile another artifact or enchantment. There's Lay Down Arms to exile creature with mana value less or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. And onto Recursion, there's Late to Dinner to return target creature from your graveyard to the field, creating a food token. We've added Mana Tithe to counter target spell unless its controller pays 1, and Skrelv Defector Might with Toxic 1, cannot block, and you can pay and tap to choose a colour. Another target creature you control gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from that colour until end of turn. We're looking for clues with Thraben Inspector that when ETBs investigate. And Thorough Investigation, this is whenever you attack, investigate. Doubly effective for us to get card draw or have as sacking fodder for Mondrak. Onto the final 5, there's Court Street Denizen, this is whenever another white creature ETBs under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. And Rumour Gatherer to scry 1 whenever another creature ETBs under your control, drawing a card if you manage to ETB a second creature that turn. There's Changeling Mirror Entity, this is until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. And Odric Master Tactician, this is whenever it and at least 3 of the creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how those creatures block. Lastly we have Crashing Drawbridge to give all those tokens hitting the field the chance to attack straight away. And now, as we always do, we're rounding off the deck tech with all of those lands. As this is a budget brew, we're keeping it simple with this one, starting with 33 planes, with the other 2 being Castle Ardenvale to create a 1/1 human token, a Memorial to Glory that you can sacrifice to create 2 1/1 soldier tokens. We do also have the reverse sides of the 2 modal DFC cards already in this deck if you decide to use them during the game, rounding this deck to a total of 37 lands. Mondrak is a really cool and powerful new commander from Phyrexia All Will Be One. With white already being popular within the token style of play, this is a commander that could see a lot of play and could become very popular upon release. There we have it, that is the $25 budget Mondrak Glory Dominus deck tech. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe down below for all things MTG. Check out our link tree in the description below for all of our affiliate links. For now though, I'm all tapped out, so I'll see you in the next video.